Hi, welcome back to another episode of Tales by Lucy. I'm excited to introduce you guys to my next guest. We have become pretty cool friends on Instagram, and I'm excited to have him so he can share his ghost stories with us. And I want to introduce you guys, JT. Yay! I wish I had the
How you
pause
doing, my
button.
nerds?
I wish I had like the pause button thing. I mean the applause, not the pause. The applause. What am I saying?
Oh,
Oh, Jesus
all
Christ.
the applause. Yeah.
But yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm so excited uh to have you
Absolutely.
and you share your stories. I know you said that you have some pretty interesting stories, so I can't wait to hear them. Um So tell me, first, uh, I want to ask, like I've been asking almost everybody, like your first experience with ghosts, your first encounter. Tell me a little bit of what has happened to you.
Okay, so as a kid, I used to play around with, with other kids or whatever, and we used to
Mm-hmm.
hear the stories associated to, how ghosts and everything like that, they encountered them, and I didn't believe it because I was a kid. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, that's not real. So one day we're playing tag in my aunt's house, and
Mm-hmm.
I that's when I started to make the connection as time progressed. As I got older, I started to realize something significant happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm playing tag, and I guess I overshot when I was trying to reach and touch them to tag them, and my hands
Mm-hmm.
literally went through the glass window. And so as it went, I went through the glass window. I went with so much momentum that my
Mm-hmm.
body literally tipped over the window and I was going to fall right out. Some, I don't know. It was, I think about it to this day and it's like, because it's traumatic. And so as you grow up, the most
Mm-hmm.
important things that you remember as a kid are the most traumatizing things. And that was traumatic because it cut my hands up. I was all sliced
Oh,
up and
jeez.
everything from the glass.
Mm-hmm.
But the significant part of that moment was I felt my body like tip over, like I was gonna fall right out the
Oh my
window, and
gosh.
something pushed me, literally pushed me back in. Like my legs were over. I was literally over.
Oh
Like
my
it was
gosh.
it was just all it was is for me to fall. And that was it. Slide right off the
Yeah.
grill, and that's it. But something just pushed me back, and I
Mm-hmm.
landed back on my feet, and it scared the living daylights out of me because I never, I was a kid. I didn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as years went by, I grew a fear of heights.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started to try to associate it as I was growing older and try to understand. And I kept remembering that moment. And I still remember to this day that my
Mm-hmm.
legs were, I was done. I
Yeah.
remember looking down, and when I looked down, there were steel spikes. You know those old fences where they have the
Yeah.
steel spikes. That was in front of the building. So if I was to fall, I would have landed on those steel spikes.
Oh my gosh.
Um, and it was, yeah, it was a scary experience, and I never ever forgot it. I mean, that was one of the many experiences. Um, and
That is so
throughout the
scary.
years, it was like, yeah, throughout the years, I was experiencing things like that. Like one time, I was in my bedroom, and sleeping in the bunk bed. Everything was cool. I was like 13 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, something significant was happening between my mom and dad. They were having an argument,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess the argument was escalating. It was getting very intense. Something drove me right out of the bed. It whispered my name, like my name, literally my name.
How old were you around that time? Do you remember?
I was 13, 14 years old. I was
Oh,
actually
okay.
13, 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It was shortly after my grandmother passed away.
Okay.
Um, but I didn't recognize the voice. It just
Mm-hmm.
said, it whispered my name in my ear, and I like literally my eyes like you
Ugh.
know, and I
Yeah.
leaped out of the bed and I ran out of the bedroom and I ran into the hallway and I stood there in front of the bedroom door between my mom and dad, and they just like stopped and just looked at me. She's like, "What's the matter? You
Mm.
look pale." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say."
Yeah.
But that killed the argument between them two.
Yeah.
Like they stopped
That's cool.
arguing.
Maybe it
And
was your
and
grandma
and, and it
trying to
was,
tell them
yeah, it was
to calm down.
I don't know. I mean, shortly after that, there were times when my mother would tell me, because my mother, she was very religious, Christian,
Mm-hmm.
and she used to turn the radio. She had a specific radio and a station that she would listen to for Christian songs or whatever. And shortly after that moment, I was getting little, my mom would leave to go to work, and I would change the station and blast my music. I was just
Yeah.
my hip hop, my R&B, and I was a kid. I wanted to listen to my
Yeah.
music. And my mother always told me, don't touch the radio. Um, and one day I'm like blasting the radio. Shortly after this moment occurred, the radio shuts off. And I'm like, what? I walk over to the radio, and it's one of
Uh,
those old radios that you actually have
yeah.
to put force to push the power button. And I
Yeah.
push it and it turns on. I'm like, that's so weird. And then I pressed it again and it turned back
Oh,
on. I mean, turned off.
yeah.
And I glanced down, and what do I see is my grandmother's picture, of when she was younger. And I was like, yeah, I'm not touching this radio no more. And yeah, that was
You're
scary.
like,
Yeah, it,
boy,
it,
you
it
better
happened.
listen.
I got honest truth. It happened. I just, to this day,
Oh
you
my
could put
God.
me in a lie detector test. I will tell you the truth. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was one of my
That's
scariest
crazy.
experiences.
Yeah. You know what? I remember that's one thing that I will never forget. My mom told me that I want to say it was my uncle, because I can't remember how, because she told me a long time ago, and after that, it always freaked me out. I want to say it was my
Mm,
uncle, one of my uncles that were listening to the music, and then the radio just kind of like went staticky, and then they heard voices through there.
mm-hmm,
And then they got so scared and they turned it off. So after that, I always hated like anything staticky. Like it freaks me
mm-hmm,
out. Like I feel like I'm gonna hear something. Like with the microphone, sometimes like if nobody's on the other side and I'm not talking to anybody, I don't want to
mm-hmm,
put the headphones because it sounds very staticky and it's the microphone, so it catches every little thing. It freaks me
mm-hmm.
out. So things like that, and with the and that has never, like, I don't
Yeah.
remember how it happened. I just remember like them telling me like what, like the whole staticky thing, and now I, as an adult, like watching the Ghost Adventures and things like that, they use
Mm-hmm.
that staticky thing, and the voice come through it. And I don't know what it is, and it makes it, um, I don't know if it's the energy or
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
that it's able to help them talk. But
Well, yeah,
that,
no,
yeah,
I used to watch those type of, yeah. I
shows,
used to watch those type
and
of shows. Yeah,
yeah,
and what one of the which I think it's EMP, or, well, not an electromagnetic pulse, but it's static radios that they used to use to, the white noise, what they call it,
yeah.
to pick up activity, voices within that type of place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that now, even I used to listen to a lot of music at night because I like, when teenager you like to sleep with
Hmm.
music on or whatever, and
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes I'm like I hate it. Like I liked it, but then I would get little scared sometimes. That I'm like I'm gonna start hearing some other voices
Yeah,
through
you had the
this or something.
paranoia.
Yeah, I'm such a scary cat. I love this stuff, but I'm such a scary cat. And it's like um yeah, and I still like when I had Phil 2 weeks ago, I his story, it really freaked me out and I couldn't sleep at night. I was like kind of little scared. And not only because of that, because that week I had like it's such a horrible nightmare that it was between his
Hmm.
story and what I dreamt, I kind of felt like it kind of connected. I don't know if it's just me probably making things up, but
Yeah, yeah.
it freaked me
No,
out
no. I
more
mean,
like
look,
during the
it's
week.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
And it's
yeah.
like the
So
internal dialogue. I mean, sometimes you have that little voice in your head that tells you right from wrong, or you speak to yourself in your head, and
yeah.
sometimes it carries you get carried away with it because fear starts to
Hmm.
kick in, and it's like
Hmm.
you can't control it sometimes, and it's like you hype yourself up, you put more fear into your heart
Yeah.
just from that dialogue, that internal dialogue. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
happens.
I
It
mean, like
happens.
how they say, fear is your worst enemy. you know. So yeah,
Yes, yes, that's right.
I, and yeah, it is. Like I said, I'm such a, um, yeah, I don't know how to like. Yeah, I'm such a scary cat. I get scared of a lot of things. I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of the dark. Like even having the dark in the back right
Hmm.
now. Like I hate looking back because
Right, right.
I hate the dark. And I have talked about it a while. I have been locked
Uh-huh.
in dark places, so I hate it. I don't like it.
Hmm.
But yeah, so uh, let's continue with your story. So okay, so you had that like twice, so you felt like that it was probably your grandma and those two.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, not accidents, like occasions,
Yeah,
that it
yeah,
happened.
incidents. Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, so have you had after those, have you had any other ones happen to you?
Well, yeah,
Like,
I mean, it did. It continued for a little while. I guess that there was an unrest in the home,
mhm,
and my grandmother, she was a type of woman that looked out for me. And she
mhm,
argued a lot, but well, grandmother doesn't. But
yeah.
she had, like, she would yell at me, and then she'll say, "Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat?" And I'm like, "Okay." So she had that type of mannerism. But then at the
Yeah.
same time, she was always protective, always trying to look out for us, always trying to make sure that my mother and I were okay.
Mhm.
And I guess that's something that she felt, that the house was at unrest, and maybe that was something that she felt that she needed to continue to do for a little while
Yeah.
longer. And
Yeah.
then there were like little things here and there that would happen, but eventually it started to wean away, and eventually it stopped.
Yeah.
It just stopped.
Okay. So and this is at the house you kind of grew up. Wait, before your grandma passed away, did anything else happen before that, or it was just after your grandma passed away?
That was pretty much it. I mean, I've never experienced anything else like that ever. Um, you know, I mean, maybe when my mom passed away, she passed away 3 years ago, and
I'm sorry.
there was my mother said to me that I was dating someone. My mother said to me that she didn't like her, but she never
Mhm.
expressed it to me. She expressed it to my sister.
Mhm.
And so I didn't know, because my mother always had a habit of not getting involved in our relationships. She
Mhm.
always, stayed out of it. And after the relationship was over and the smoke cleared, then she would say, that girl you was dating, I didn't like her. I'm like, Mom, why didn't you say something? Because I don't get involved.
Oh,
And
she's a good
I was gonna
mom.
go
She's a
out on
good
it.
mom.
No, she was fantastic. I
Mhm.
can't say anything negative about her. She was great.
Mhm.
And I was dating this one girl, and I was going to go out on a date with her. And my mom's picture, I have like a small mural of my mom, and I keep the
Mhm.
one of the cards for her. What did it say? For her eulogy.
Okay.
So at one point, I was going to go out on a date with this girl, and windows are closed, no wind, and all of a sudden, the card just tips over. I didn't think anything of it. Um,
Mhm.
that was when it was, I didn't, whatever, fix the card, go on a date. A couple weeks go by, this girl gives me a spoon, those ceramic
Mhm.
spoons that you put on the stove where
Oh
you're
yeah.
cooking, and then you
Yeah.
put that. So my mother had one, my mother, when she passed away, I took my mother's and I kept it on my stove because, it's a piece of,
Yeah.
her. And I had the other one because it was like, two different designs, but they were together.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a bottle of vinegar and a bottle of olive oil that I cook with when I'm cooking. It's like immediate
Yeah.
grab. And on one occasion, I'm cooking, and that bottle, I tip I could tap it by accident because I'm cooking, and the bottle of vinegar tips over and hits the ceramic spoon and cracks it right down the middle. Now, this bottle of vinegar, these items were my mother's,
Yeah.
and it cracks it right down the middle. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I take it, I glue it, right, with crazy glue, try
Yeah.
to salvage it. I put it down, and this is the gift that this girl gave me, and I'm still
Yeah.
dating her at the
Yeah.
time. So I'm a couple of days later, maybe a week, I'm cooking again. That same bottle of vinegar falls and hits that spoon again and cracks it somewhere else. I'm like, all right, now this has never happened, never.
That is so
And
crazy.
meanwhile, her spoon is just chilling right there. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, freaky.
Well, that
So,
that's
all
who
right,
had
so I
that
take the
luck.
spoon, I re-glue.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I re-glue. Now, mind you, I didn't know that my mother disliked this girl. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the time I was cooking dinner for her. Okay,
Yeah. Oh my
so
God.
the other time I'm cooking again, and this is like the third time cooking again, and it happens again. It hits it another place and it breaks it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I grabbed it, I threw it in the trash, and
Oh
about a
my
week
God.
later, her and I broke up. A week later, her and I broke up. And then my sister tells me shortly after, Mom didn't like that girl. I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, no. And I told her, she was like, that was mommy. That was mommy. And I'm like, no, it can't be. She was like, yep, that had to be.
Oh my
It's
God.
just that spoon, that
That is,
spoon,
that is so
and
crazy.
I
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I remember that situation, but that was like a while back. That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like recollecting on it. But my sister, yeah, she told me, she was like, that was mommy.
Wow.
I was like, no, can't be. It can't. And it's like, it's
She's giving you a
too much
sign.
coincidence,
Yeah. Just like,
right?
this
And
girl
then,
gotta
yeah, no, but then
go.
we
So
did break
cute.
up.
That's cute. That's kind of cute. I don't know.
But no,
I
I
think
did
that's
break up with
cute.
her.
Wow. Yeah, it was meant to be. Oh my goodness, that is so crazy. Wow. I mean, it, their spirit, I guess, is so powerful. It's still like watching over you. And that is
Yeah, yeah.
wow, that is so crazy. So that was the only thing that you feel like you experienced, like, and
No,
then
it
you
was
felt
so
like it was,
connected with mom.
yeah, yeah, that is
Yeah, that
so
was it.
crazy.
That was pretty much it. But I had such a connection with my mother. I would call her every single day after
Yeah.
work, and I would sit on the phone with her on my way to, my way home or on my way to pick up my daughter. So it was like an hour drive, and I would every day like clockwork. Hi, mom, how you doing? How was your day? What'd you do? Just
Yeah.
this regular spiel, and I guess that connection stayed there,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
it was a strong blow, for
Yeah.
me.
So
It took
next
me a lot
time,
of time to.
yeah. So next time you date somebody, tell them to give you something. Put it by the
Yeah,
olive
right.
oil, and we'll see if Mama approves of her.
Yeah, yeah, right. I mean, like, and it's never happened ever since then. Like, I've never seen anything, weird, nothing. It's just, I don't know.
Wow. Wow.
It's
Oh,
something that yeah, it's.
that's crazy. Okay, so I want to ask, is there a place? I know you told me about a place that was nearby your house. Is this a place you want to visit, or a place that is just there near your house, and things has happened there?
Well, there is a colonial building that is an inn, which is located, I want to say, about a quarter mile away from my house, right down the block.
Mm-hmm.
According to this the history in this place, it's haunted.
Mhm.
The reason that it's haunted is because it was an inn back in the 1800s, right
Mhm.
around the time where George Washington was
Mhm.
starting to uh, develop his presidency, and
Mhm.
start to, and where the wars and everything were going on. At which point he did actually visit this national monument.
Mhm.
It
Is
was
this
an
a place
inn,
where
so
you sent me the picture of?
yeah, the
This
image
one?
that you
Oh
have.
wait,
No,
down
that
right. That
is
one?
the
Oh, that's another
Amityville
thing.
Horror
Okay, we'll
House.
talk about.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay,
So
okay.
no, but this is, yeah. It was an inn that was basically for people that are wandering, that are coming from different areas. And back
Mhm.
then, this area was just dirt, a dirt road, and no homes, no concrete. It was just fields and fields and fields of trees and grass, and
Mhm.
so this place was, according to the story, this young lady was walking down the road, and it was
Mhm.
dark. Apparently, she was either trampled or run over, or something happened to her,
Mhm.
and nobody could tell what happened. And for at least, they say that it was about 2 weeks, her body remained there. And back in the day, you're talking about horse and carriage. There was no
Mhm.
electrical
Cars.
power to, or gasoline engines. Right. So her body was on the floor, and since it was a dirt road, it was just being repeatedly run over, and
Mm.
nobody touched it. Or so one day, I guess the innkeepers and a lot of people associated to the place noticed it, and they took her body and buried it in the back of the house, where right now a cemetery, a small cemetery, lies there.
Mhm.
So there they buried her in an unmarked grave. And to this
Okay.
day, they say that they see her wandering that street and that
Mhm.
house, that inn,
Mhm.
because the inn is still there. They keep rebuilding it, like maintaining it. But
Mhm.
that inn is actually there because it's a national monument, so
Yeah.
they can't tear it down. But the
Yeah.
story is that you see her wandering through the small cemetery or in the house, like you see
Oh
a figure.
wow.
Because what they do is they have little candles in each and every of the windows, and they're
Uh
on
huh.
24/7
Oh
at
wow.
night. So they're like electrical candles. But then they say that you see like a silhouette of a dark figure crossing that every so often,
Mhm.
and that it's supposedly her. I've never seen it. I mean, I've never taken the time to
Mhm.
look at it, but I have gone there. I have gone to the cemetery. I did the tours there, and
Yeah.
heard the stories
Yeah.
associated. But it was
Yeah.
like in 1830 something that when the building was
What's the
first
name
built.
of the place? What was the name of the place again?
What's that?
What's the name of the place?
Um, I think it's I don't remember exactly. I think it's like
Mhm.
Hollowed House or Hollowed something. It's located in Woodbridge, I mean Rahway, New Jersey. So you could
New
just put
Jersey.
like Colonial
Let me
Haunted
see.
House in Rahway, New Jersey. Yeah, and you'll be able to pull it up, I think. Hmm.
Oh, let's see. Let me see if I see it. Oh wait, never mind. Hill Hollow Road in Warren.
Hale Hollow Road. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's in
Let me see.
uh,
Let's see. Yeah, I was like trying to see if I can find it. I found like one in New Jersey Haunted House. Oh well, they give me like a
like a
tour.
whole plethora, right?
Let me see. Trying to
Hold
see.
on. And
Mhm. Give me one. I want to
let me
because I
see.
want to see if I can see it. Hmm. Sorry, I want to see.
I'm trying to
I should
see.
have asked for
Yeah,
pictures.
yeah. Let's see.
I know you have told me about places like that, and that it was like near
Uh-huh.
your house. Let's see.
Yeah, there was a place. There was a place like that. And then I've tried to I've tried to research it a little bit, but it's just like there's not too much on it, but there is a
Yeah.
history of that place.
Huh. Hmm.
I think it's in St. George. They call it St. George Ave.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a
Let me
bunch of
see.
stuff that comes up. Okay. Well, the what is it called, the place that I was showing, so that one place that you would like to visit that is uh, uh that is haunted or something like that.
Yeah, actually,
That,
I wanted to go visit the what is that called? The Amityville Horror House.
that's the one, that's
Um,
the picture you sent me, right?
that yes, that is the actual
That
image.
one.
That's
Okay.
actually, yeah, that is a famous house that was in a movie that they call it Amityville Horror. That
Uh-huh.
house actually was built in, I want to say 1973 or 1972. And in
Mhm.
1977, a family inhabited the home
Mhm.
where he allegedly was possessed and pretty much hammered his children,
Yeah.
his wife. He murdered them in cold blood with a hammer. And when they interviewed him, he explained that, you know, he heard voices and it told him to do this. There have been many other occasions where people
Oh,
have
I heard
moved
of
in
that.
and bought the
Yes.
home and have quickly moved out of there because of the I guess the hauntings that's going on in that home.
Hmm.
And that was a slaughter. I mean, it's not the first time that people have been murdered there. That was actually the second time.
Yeah.
The first time around, I believe it was a young man as well that went into the home with his family and
Yeah.
pretty much, massacred their family as well.
Yeah.
So that
Wow.
house is extremely, it's a high, how do I
Yeah.
say, high probability that if there
Mhm.
is some form, yeah, and that footage that you see there is the actual
Yeah.
murder, is the actual footage from the murder that occurred in 1977 in
Holy moly.
Amityville, where the man hammered his family to death.
Wow.
And
That
those are
is
actually the bodies that they're removing out of the home.
that is horrible. My goodness.
Yeah,
That is
that
okay.
is that
I
is a
feel,
that
didn't they make a movie about that? Because
actually, yes, they actually have
yeah.
they have made several movies. They made several movies on this. I think it was a film they did it in the 1980s,
Mm-hmm.
around the time when The Exorcist came out. And then the reboot of that movie was back in 2001, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
where in color and everything like that, and that's similar to the storyline. And then that's when they started doing a lot of how do I say, parodies associated to that movie, like the
Yeah.
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah. Because, but see, do you think that like something like that when it happens, like me, I try to think. I mean, I believe in this stuff, but then I try to think about, is it because maybe like if there was oh my god, what is it called, like mold in the house, and they make, or something in the house that it could actually make you crazy, and or
hmm
chemicals that could mess with your brain, and
hmm
you think you're hearing stuff, and it makes you crazy and makes you
right,
do crazy things, or is it really some paranormal stuff really happening, and it's like
right.
possessing you to do something like that, like what? I think about the possibilities that it can make somebody to do such a crazy thing, um but
hmm
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, in my opinion, there are certain things that occur in this world that are unexplainable. And I know that, for instance, at one
Mhm.
point in my life, I believed that there were a lot of people that uh, have have this type of gift per se.
Mhm.
One thing that I would say is, you ever have that feeling when you're standing and you're watching something, and somebody stands behind you quietly without letting you know, and you feel their presence? Or, for instance, when you go to a
Mhm.
funeral, and I've been to enough funerals to know this,
Yeah.
and you walk over to the body and you feel like the body has something missing,
Energy.
that there's something missing from that body,
Yeah.
and that's the aura, the soul. Okay,
Yeah.
if you feel that as a human being instinctively, like an animal, you feel that type of, you know, missing, like it's a shell, and you see that there's something, you feel it, you don't actually
Mhm.
look at it, you feel that there's something missing. Or when you feel the person's presence behind you without even no one making a sound,
Yeah.
that kind of tells you
You
that
get
there's
the
some
little.
type of, right, there's some
Yeah.
type of um activity that is unexplainable. And
Yeah.
so I believe that there may be a possibility, a strong possibility, that this does exist. And me
Mhm.
personally, I don't want to knock on the door, because who knows who's going to answer.
Who's gonna answer? Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, I heard
Yeah.
that once. I was like, you keep knocking on the devil's door, one day somebody's going to answer. And you know, and I'm afraid of that. And so I just,
Mhm.
out of mind, out of sight. You know what I'm saying? I watch my horror movies, I watch my
Yeah.
scary movies and everything, but then I put it
It's
in
not
my
the
head and I
same.
say, this is an actor. You know,
Mhm.
I can Google him and I can see him in his true form. You know, this
Yeah.
is somebody. And but there are certain movies that actually just, they're so compelling that they break you. They shake your very soul and tell you,
Yeah.
my God, this can actually exist. You
Mm.
know?
Yeah, well, see, like that movie of the Warners, no, the Warrens, the Warners, not the Warren, the Warrens, the what is it called? I'm horror. I always forget the name of the movie,
Which one?
but The Conjuring.
The Conjuring. Yes.
That one,
Yes.
oh my God, that one, that one and two, I watched those. Semi watch, I should say, because I kept covering my eyes because
Is
it
that
was
is that the one
so.
that's associated to the Annabelle, right?
Yeah, yeah, and
Hmm.
I couldn't. I mean, I like them. That I like them because it's such a
Right.
great story, and it's super
Right.
scary, and it's like based on true story. And
Right.
that one, because it's based on true story, that scares me. And in that houses still exist, and the people, well, now they passed away. The Warrens, they passed away in the family, but all that is just, it was not like so of like visual scary, but the story itself, it's like really scary,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. It was
yeah, those
compelling. It
movies,
was like based
yeah,
on a true story.
yeah, so those yeah, those are, they do freak me out. And you know how the daughter still has the house, the Warren's daughter still has a house,
Hmm.
and they do tours of their house, and they still have that Annabelle doll, which it doesn't look like the movie at all. um, and the
No, no.
daughter,
Actually, it's actually a Raggedy Ann doll.
yes, and I think it's even creepier. It's even, yeah, but the daughter
Yeah.
says
I
that.
actually, I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, the daughter, she's so scared of that she doesn't like to mess with that. She has not watched the movies or anything like that because she's so scared of that. Because I mean,
Yeah.
that's something that she lived, and
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
parents did and stuff like
Absolutely.
that. Her husband is the one who does all that thing. You know what? Just talking about that stuff, that I honestly, I looked at it and it kind of creeped me out a little bit. But my little scarecrow, they have almost the same face.
Oh.
Holy crap, I just realized that and it kind of freaked me out. That's what I was like, I don't know if you noticed. I kind of, I just realized that. And it's looking at me. Uh, no, thank you. But yeah, no, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. Um, but yeah, like, the daughter, she doesn't like any of that stuff. She doesn't really like to talk about it or anything like that. But
Yeah.
the husband is the one who
Right.
they choose people and they invite people over to go to their house and see all that stuff. And like, I would like to visit maybe, but then at the same time, I get so
Right.
scared because you don't know what you can bring with you. Um, and they tell you not to
Yeah.
touch things and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I don't know. It's such a,
Yeah.
like, I believe it, but then at the same time, I try to think the possibilities that it cannot be true. So I don't know if I do it so I don't scare myself
Right.
or what. Like, like I have said, I
Right.
have
Right.
very few experiences and I have not realized them till later. Like last week I was with Fez. I was talking to Fez, and while I was doing the live, I felt like something grabbed my arm. But that feeling that after you touch yourself, like somebody grabs you and let go, that feeling that you still have in your arm after they let go. That's what I
Yeah.
had. And I don't know, like, I don't know. And then it just kind of obviously freaked me out a little bit. And I was just like, what the heck? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just me, my body, because I'm talking about this is making me feel like
Yeah.
that. Like the whole feeling that you were saying when you feel somebody standing behind you. Like I have that feeling right here
Right.
on my neck right now. And every time I
Mhm.
do sitting here, and it's like I said, I don't know if it's because I'm scared that of
Uh,
the dark, that it's making me feel that, or is it, or what? Uh, and I feel like it's all in my head. I try to put it's all in my head. I'm freaking myself out.
right. Right. Right.
So that's why it's like your I don't know. That's why I think it's like it's your brain or your head that is messing with you. And when people they
Right.
say that something make them do it, like it's like, is it, or maybe are you kind of crazy or what? I don't know. Like it,
Are you? Yeah. Right. Like.
it
Is it? You're just saying that as an excuse to get out of it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just like so many. Like I argue with myself, I guess. Like, could it be real or not? Like,
Yeah.
or what can make that fake? But yeah, I don't know. It's just that's
Yeah. I
crazy.
mean, there's a lot of possibilities. Remember, there's a lot of people that utilize that behavior in
Hmm.
many different ways, whether it's true or not. And sometimes you never know. I mean, it could be something that, you know,
Yeah,
um, there's something that's actually occurring inside their head. And, there's a
yeah,
lot of different forms. I mean, lead poisoning can actually affect the brain.
yeah.
Mercury can affect the brain with hallucinations.
Hmm.
Some actual medications that people take,
Yeah,
alcoholism, even the use of certain drugs that that people use nowadays to party. I guess I don't
yeah,
know, but
yeah,
yeah, it's something that could be a possibility.
yeah. The Britney messing with me. There's something behind you. Don't even mess with that girl. uh,
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh my god.
oh no, man. Oh god, no. See, like or one of those, like, when you have something like your clothes hanging in the corner and it's like the shadow, and then I don't know where, like you turn around, it's like, oh shit, yeah, okay, it's just my coat hanging.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you
One
turn
of
around and
those,
you
yeah.
catch it out the corner of your eye.
Yes,
Yeah,
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 like, that
absolutely, absolutely.
especially, like I said, I'm such a scary guy, like, that has happened to me. And, like, I hate having the doors
Right.
open because I'm, like, just looking like if something's gonna popped out of there or what. But, um, I still watch all these stuff, that it makes me get paranoid. I'm so, like, paranoid. I get paranoid. But yeah, like there's like, there's some places
Okay.
that I like. There's a lot of places that I like to visit. Uh,
Hmm.
but there's one, what is the Whaley's house think, am I pronouncing it
Whaley's
right?
house.
The Whaley's. It's like there's one in San Diego, I think, and then one in, I want to say, San Francisco, San Jose, somewhere out there. It's
Okay.
I think it's a Whaley's. The Whaley. They made movies about that too. There's the house that I think it's in San Francisco area, where the wife made like have doors everywhere or like stairs that they go nowhere. And it was, she said, it was
Oh
to trick
yeah, 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 yeah.
the spirits to, and then people have
Yes,
living
yes.
there. You know which one I'm talking. I think it is the Whaley's house. I mean, anybody in the who's watching, if they know, add it on the
Yeah,
comments.
I'm
Help me out. But yeah, like there's some that place I want to go, and I know my mom loves all this stuff. You know, I grew up watching scary movies since I was little. I mean, she freaking, I
mhm,
watched it when I mean, almost kind of around the time that it came out. I was little. I was very little. And that's because of that I
mhm,
hated
mhm.
clowns. I still do. I think they're creepy. First, I was just like creepy,
Yeah,
grown
yeah.
men.
You know what? You're not alone. You are not
Oh,
alone. I
yeah,
personally, I don't like. Yeah, I don't like the.
yeah.
It's
That
actually the Wally the Wally House Museum. Um,
okay. There
so
it
it's
is.
it's
Yeah.
it's basically located in San Diego, California.
Well, there's one there, and there's another one. They have two houses. Cause
Oh,
I've been
really?
at the outside, yeah. Cause that one there, that house, and like I think it's on Old Town San Diego, I want to say. But
Right,
the other
right.
one, the other one with the stairs that they go nowhere. It's, I
Hmm.
think it's out there because they had two houses. So there's two houses, and the
Right.
one I think in San Jose, San Francisco, it's the one that it has those the stairs and the doors. There's like
Hmm.
many doors that they go nowhere. They're just like the outside
Right.
of the house. Let me see. Wait, let me see
And
the Whaley
it's
house.
called the Whaley House is
Uh-huh.
located in well, this particular one is in San Diego,
Yeah,
California, which was built in 1857. Um,
yeah, yeah. I know there's a, unless let me see. I want to see because I'm sure. See, now there is somebody behind me. uh,
yeah,
unless I'm good, I'm there.
it's the
Then
Wally
maybe,
House.
yeah. Then there's. Oh no, no. Okay, I'm confusing the houses. It's the Winchester Mystery House. The Winchester. That's the one that I'm talking about.
The
That
Winchester.
yes, the Winchester. That's the one that I'm talking about. There's
The
that
Winchester House. It's in San Jose, California.
San Jose. Yes, that oh, it's such a. I love the outside of the house, and uh, I seen pictures and I seen
Hmm.
the YouTube videos doing the tour and the ghost hunt, ghost adventures. They done the whole. Uh, uh, what is it called? How they stay the night and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but yes, that's the one that I was talking. I was confusing. I confused those two
Oh,
houses.
okay.
Uh, uh, because I think
Yeah,
they
no,
had like a
it's a mansion. I mean, it's a huge
yes,
mansion.
yes. It's let me see. Let me see if I can just. But yeah, that and I think uh they have a what is it called they do the tours and all that stuff. Let me see.
Yes, they do a full tour of the Winchester House. And there's
Yeah,
actually a virtual tour that they give you when you go onto their website. It shows you
yeah,
the different areas and the way the stairs and everything um, circle around. So they actually show you a virtual tour
yeah.
when you
There,
go on the website. Um,
yeah, that's the one. Can
right, but if you winchestermysteryhouse.com, you'll be able to actually
yeah,
see the tour of the house. It gives you like
yeah,
a virtual visual effect of the house.
yes.
But
Yeah,
yeah, it's still maintained.
yeah, those are
It,
that's
you
the
know,
one talking.
since it's historical. Um,
Yes, yeah, it's
mhm.
crazy, and I like how like during like Halloween and all that they do the stuff. they do those tours. But I mean, look at how old, like it's the way when they started, like it's
building
crazy.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a national monument. I mean, was it built
Yeah.
like in the 1800s or something?
Some, let me see. I think so. Um,
Hmm.
let me see. I think they did. But yeah, no, it's such a beautiful house.
No, it is.
Um,
It is a nice house.
yeah,
I gotta admit.
1906, I think. Yeah, 1906. I think that's when they started
Winchester
building.
House is yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
1922.
Is
The
it? That's
longest
when
home
they finished
shops.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no, Sarah Winchester passed away in 1922, but the house was built
yeah,
back in 1900s.
yeah.
So
So
20
that
years
started
later,
1906. Yeah.
after the house was built, she passed away. Yeah,
Well,
or
I thought she
yeah,
did. Like she
roughly.
wanted because
Um,
she thought they were gonna the spirits were gonna follow her and stuff like that. And but yeah,
mhm.
so then they have made movies about, they make movies about everything, but
Actually,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
they did, and they did a Ghost Adventures as well.
yeah, and there's people who go there and take pictures, and on the pictures there's always like it shows something on them. Uh,
Like a
like I
silhouette
said,
or
yeah,
orb or something like that. That's
my little girl's over here.
that's your little ghost over there.
My little demon, I should say. Yeah, but see, yeah, that's one that those are the two. I guess I should say the two ones. The one in San Diego, I remember. When we went, we just passed by there. I think it was closed or something that we didn't go in. And I didn't
Mhm,
at the time. I didn't know much about that house, but I know there's another place in San Diego. It's a hotel, Coronado or
mhm.
Corona or something like that. A hotel that I hear that's super haunted too. That's one that
Oh,
I would like to visit too. There's a bunch of them. I mean,
yeah.
around here, I guess. But I would like to own a Victorian house, and I know it's not gonna
Okay.
come clean. I know it's
Well,
not gonna come
look,
clean.
everybody can have what they want in their lifetime if they work hard enough for it. If you want it bad
Yeah,
enough, I think you do
yeah,
it.
yeah. So now I want to ask, what's oh my goodness, a movie that you recommend for us to watch?
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, one movie that it's scary, that it's scary that you want to recommend. Let's see.
There is a movie, and it's called The Monster Project. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a low budget film,
Uh-huh.
of course, but it does have, it's like an interview with a vampire sort of.
Oh.
But what they do is they pretty much put out an ad. This is a low budget film, but they put out an ad looking for a bunch of individuals that seemingly have abilities, or
Mm-hmm.
they're freaks, or they have powers, or they're monsters. And lo and behold, there were three individuals that actually reached out to them and told them about their powers. And as the
Mm-hmm.
story starts to unfold, a lot of weird things start happening. And I don't want to get into it, but I'll tell you right now, if you really want to get scared, watch this movie. This
Really?
movie
Huh.
will put the fear in your heart for real. And I'm
Wow.
telling you, I've seen a lot of movies. I've seen The Conjuring,
Uh-huh.
Exorcist, a lot of those movies associated, and it wasn't as impactful as this movie. This movie
Wow.
has such raw material and such potential that I'm very surprised that it didn't meet it didn't hit the market. It didn't hit the mainstream on how impactful this movie is. So I would really highly recommend it. If you really want to get scared, watch this movie and you will know
Mm.
what fear is.
The Monster Project. Um, so it says demon, vampire, and skinwalker. Wow. Okay. So it's not only one kind; it's like all kinds of different.
Hmm. Yes,
Okay. I
yes. And
can
so
check
it's
that one
like
out.
it's literally interview them, and they
Okay.
come. It's like they start to, it starts to unfold, and as it starts to unfold,
Mm-hmm.
you get pulled right into the movie, and you feel like you're one of the people that are trying to escape or trying to survive
Mm.
this incident.
Wow. Okay, that's one. I need to add that to my list. Wow, that
Yeah, that's
looks
a must see.
pretty.
If you want to see a
So
scary movie for Halloween, that's the one.
that's the one. Okay, so I wanna my pick. It's gonna be the 30 Dates of Night. The
Okay,
movie. It's on Amazon right now, Amazon Prime. So
correct.
if you have Amazon Prime, you're able to watch it there. And it turned 13 years since it came out, and also it was written by
Yes.
one of my favorite writers, Steve Niles. And I have this one. This one is not from the beginning, but it's the latest one that it came out a couple years ago. But I had to pick it up because it
Hmm.
was from Steve Niles, and also I guess a little uh, promotion. We're gonna have him. We're gonna interview him on the other show that I'm in on Comic Book Woman, on Tells by the Flip Side.
Oh,
He's gonna join us. Yeah, I reached out to him, and I'm such a
wow,
I
very
like I said,
nice. Well
yeah, I'm
done.
a fan. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I love the uh like almost every book that I have picked up. It's been freaking good. And well, the movie it came out well 2007, 13 years ago. I remember when I went to the theater.
Hmm.
I didn't. I honestly, I wasn't. I didn't see the what is it called? The preview, not the previews. The trailer. I didn't see the trailer or anything. I didn't know what I was
Right.
going for, and I just went to watch it. And I honestly, at the end of the movie, I was scared watching it, but then
Hmm.
at the end of the movie, I cried. I'm
Oh,
such a
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Because the ending, yeah, of course.
Yeah, ending,
Yeah.
I cried. So I was just like, oh my god, this is so good. I loved it. And then the actor Josh, oh shoot, I can remember his last name. Horrible with the last names. But yeah, that's I love him. He also did Faction October, in which is his show. It's
Okay.
on
October
Netflix. It's
Faction.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Actually,
October
I
Faction.
have I have the
Yeah,
comic books, and I've actually seen the show. Um,
I loved
I
it.
really did enjoy the show. I really
Me
did enjoy
too.
the show.
Yeah, so if you guys, that's one show that I recommend. It's not so scary. It's not scary really. It's not. It's good. I really
Hmm.
enjoyed that show. October Faction. He's again Steve Niles. He did the show. The book. It sucks. It got canceled after the one season.
Hmm.
I mean, a month after it came out, they canceled the show.
Oh,
It's
did they cancel it?
yes, it's very dumb.
Oh.
I feel like they didn't promote it enough.
And the actor you're trying to talk
Just
the
draw,
actor you were
John
talking about is Josh Hartnett.
Harnett. Okay,
Josh
I want to say Barnard, but it's not even that close.
H
Yes,
R
yes,
H R Hartnett. Hartnett.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
At the time when he was that good actor. He was in a lot of stuff, so he was a good
Hmm.
actor. But yeah, those 30 Dates a Night comic or the movie, the October Faction, which I really enjoyed more the book, the comic, than the
Right.
show. Because obviously on the show they changed things. On the show they did show like feel like before, uh, like a lot of the stuff that uh, how do I'm horrible explaining, but uh, it was.
No,
I
no.
feel
I
it was
mean,
like before the book, kind of like their
right.
origin, and then
The
I
origin story.
yeah, and they didn't really show much of what the book was about. So I hate that they didn't get to
Hmm.
show that. I really wish some other network can pick it up, or they can make a movie or something out of that one, because it's, like I said, it's such a great book. I
Yeah.
love it. And I didn't know when I
Now,
picked
did
this.
did
Uh-huh.
no? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, when I picked this book, I didn't know, because it was number one. I picked it
Hmm.
up when it came out. It was 2016, 17. And I didn't know it was a continuation kind of thing. It was a different volume. And then later on, I had to go back and
Hmm.
read the other ones. But I don't have, I only have this one of number one. I don't, which it was the one with the Netflix logo. I
Right.
need to order
Right. That's the
the,
one I have. Yeah. Yeah. That's
yeah,
the same one I
I
have.
need to order the original, and then well, I got number two, but I need to order the original, the first print, because I need to have the first print on that one. Because, like I said, I
Okay.
really really love this. It's one of my favorite books.
Now, did
So
they were they true with the show versus the comic, or was it just like touch and go?
they didn't get to. I feel like they didn't get a chance to show what the like part of the comic. Like I was telling you, in the comic, they, like, on the show, they introduced the characters, and they took the time to introduce like what their family was about and things like that. On the book,
Right.
they don't, like, let's see, on the show, the kids were still in high school, and on the book, the kids were
Hmm.
done with high school. So they didn't.
Oh, okay.
It was just like it was. I feel like the show was before the comic. Like whatever it happened,
It was like a
Uh,
prequel.
yeah, yeah, the prequel. There you go. Yes. So
Hmm.
they didn't get to show
Yeah.
what they're about, really. You know. So it sucks, because, like I
Right. They
said,
didn't have a chance to develop the characters and the storyline. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
no, no, it was all like introduction, um, and there's a lot of, like, if you read the books, I guess they will explain a lot from the book, and it will help
Hmm.
you understand the book better. So if you watch the show and then read the book, that will help.
Hmm.
Which that will probably what I recommend, to watch the show first, and then if you want to read the books, then read the books. That will help you. Uh, but that's something that, like I said, I really enjoyed that one, and
Hmm.
it could have been. But you know what? It was that the show came out a month before Lock and Key, and
Hmm.
they promote a lot more Lock and Key. They're promoting the crap out of that one. And I
Right.
understand, I guess
Right.
it's so they won an award for it, and I understand all that, but I mean,
Yeah.
first promote the show that it's going to come out first, and then move on to the next
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
No. But
Yeah.
Steve,
I guess Lock and Key stole their lunch money.
seriously, yeah. And you know what? Damien Warm, he does the art for it. He did the art for. He does a lot of. He works a lot with Steve Niles. He also did. I have another one here that I just
Hmm.
kind of started. Monster and Madman, and it's also by them too. They did the art and the the work together on this one. This one's kind of dark, so you kind of hardly see it, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
beautiful art. I've been following Damien and Steven. I love their work together. So, and they came out with different,
Hmm.
with another book that I was not able to pick it up because it sold out pretty fast. Um,
Oh,
Great Graveling, I think it is. I'll send it to you, but it's another one. They work
yeah.
together. I'm sure it's gonna be good. And it's from a super small press. That yeah, it sold out. There's that one, The Graveling and Possess. Those two books, they came out this year, and I wasn't able to get them because
You
they
couldn't
sold out
find
pretty
them.
fast. Yeah, and now
Oh.
Possess is only 2 issues, and both of them they're selling for 35 already, and they came out like
Oh,
3 weeks.
wow.
So I missed out on those
Wow.
two. I'm so
Yeah, I
mad.
mean that happens.
Yeah, so I'm
I
gonna
know.
see
I
if
can
I can
imagine.
get
It's
it.
frustrating.
But yeah, so I'm like talking a lot. You, a book that you will recommend?
Totally fine.
a book that you will recommend. What book would you do you have any recommendations on any book that it will be horror?
You know, there is one. There's actually one that came out for Stranger Things. Stranger Things,
Hmm.
as everyone probably knows, that it's a very popular TV show based on a 1980 genre about
Hmm.
a monster that was pretty much coming in from a different realm and entering our world and taking over and trying to pretty much merge the two realms together.
Hmm.
And then a group of young individuals basically tried to fight them off with the help of a young lady that had powers. So
Hmm.
now they just came out with a new issue that is just a one shot, and it's Stranger Things, the Halloween special. So
Oh.
that right now is currently selling at cover price. We were
Hmm.
selling it when I was doing my show on Wednesday. I was selling it at cover price, and
Hmm.
it sold pretty fast. But that is a
Hmm.
book you want to look into. It's
Oh.
it's a one shot. It's a Halloween special. It's
Yeah.
associated to the familiar storyline that we are familiar with as far as Stranger Things is concerned,
Hmm.
with the same characters. But again, it's a one shot. There's not much you have to invest into it other than that book just to
Okay,
enjoy for
I
Halloween.
like that. Yeah, they start coming out. I think a year ago, 2 years ago, with the Stranger Things comic books, and it's like yeah, I do recommend those because they don't go. They're like side stories. Like they tell like a
Mhm.
Elle, like her experience when she was locked up in there, and then they have another one where they talk about the other girl who was in there with her from that second season. So those are good
Mhm.
books also to read if you love Stranger Things. That is true. I totally forgot about that, but I did see this past
Mhm.
on Thursday. I went to pick up my pool and I saw that book, and I didn't know it was a special one shot. So maybe I'm gonna probably go and
A
pick it
one
up and
shot. Yeah, it's
yeah,
a how.
read it.
Mhm.
Yeah, wow. Well, JT, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your stories. Can you let everybody know where they can find you and also what you do with on Wednesdays for people who they
Sure,
want to know
sure.
more about you?
Well, first, I really I thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. It's definitely an honor and always a pleasure working with you on so many different levels.
Thank
Um,
you.
well, my show is, I'm as you can see, my screen name is JT underscore Ripple underscore pressing, which is my personal IG page. But we run under the name Recasters. Um, and that is basically where I base my show from. So every Wednesday, what I do is I provide comic books at cover price, and I do a live stream where anyone can just pretty much drop in, see what's available for New Comic Book Day, and make your purchases through the actual live show. Uh, it has been identified that our live show is the only one in the world. So we're completely exclusive. We're the only ones in the world that's basically selling all the comic books and on New Comic Book Day for cover price.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also provide the option where you can have those books shipped to you, through different avenues. We have different forms of payment, and then of course we have that incentive where we give customers um, tax-free books. In other words, if the books is $3.99, you're paying $3.99, and plus the
Mm-hmm.
shipping.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we don't do it. I don't make anything extra. I'm actually trying to provide this for the community. So this is something that if anyone wants to join, feel free. You can
Mm-hmm.
always just sit around and listen to what we do, and pay attention to the
Mm-hmm.
banter we have. We also have giveaways. We have, free giveaways for books. And the last book that we gave away was the Venom 29 with a retail value of $35. And the game was that you had to guess the song that we were playing, or you
That's
we
cool.
had to
That's
guess who
fun.
was right. And we provide easy ways of winning books. And of course, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't buy and you win the book, we won't charge you for the shipping. We give it to you for free. The shipping is free, the book is free. We just want to make sure that we give back to the community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I think that everyone will benefit from it. And for those flippers that want to buy those books and sit on them for a little bit when they increase in value. That's also another great option where they can go in and purchase those books at cover price. So
Yeah.
thank
So
you so
that's
much. And
no, I have bought some books from you from your lives. You
yeah,
have that I know they have sold out already, and I know I can find them for cover price. I know for sure if I need a
right.
book, I can tune in on Wednesday. And it's at what time do you
Hmm.
go? It says I know my time is 3, I think, and yours is at 6, right?
Right.
Pacific
So
time is at
yeah,
3.
we're basically doing it out of East Coast, right? Because I'm
Okay,
located in New Jersey.
yeah.
So
So it's what time?
we do it at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, yeah. So I know, like, my brother and I, we have been able to order some books, like I said, that sold out, and I just know that if I can
Yeah.
tune in on time, and if tune in as soon as he goes on, because there's a bunch of people who go on and they already know kind of what they want, and they're letting you know, hey, give me
Yeah.
this, give me that. They already have their list basically, and I know
Right.
you just send them like that's within the same week. And they are like he sent them very. Still have
Yes.
a I know you. This is where you send it. I still have it.
Right.
I opened
Right.
it. It's just a box.
Right.
But like if you don't want to pay, if you know it's sold out and you don't want to pay those flipper money, uh,
Yeah. Inflated prices. Yeah. Hmm.
yes, check him out. And not only you're doing helping the community, you're also helping the comic book store to with their
Absolutely.
sales, especially on this time. You're helping the comic book store
Absolutely.
owner because it's not your store; it's somebody else that you're helping. Um,
Correct.
too.
Correct.
So
So
you're helping both
yeah.
sides, not only one. you know.
Correct. I'm trying to, yeah, basically what I'm doing is I'm connecting the two, Um, one of the most difficult times right now that we're going through as far as COVID is concerned, everyone has had that fear of walking into, enclosed spaces, and exposing themselves to the virus and so on and so forth. And that impacted a lot of small businesses,
Mhm.
especially the comic book industry, because that's their bread and butter. To release their books on
Mhm.
Wednesdays, have everyone come into the store, purchase their books, and be able to benefit from
Yeah.
the books that they're looking for, and increase in their collection. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, that was a problem. And my comic book store, my local comic book shop, was the guy. He's a very nice guy. He's a known firefighter during the day, and he
Mhm.
owns that comic shop. Like, as soon as he's done trying to save lives, the man goes into the store to
Mhm.
provide books to people that want to,
Yeah.
increase their collection. And so I
Mhm.
felt like I wanted to make the connection. I wanted to connect the collectors with the store, and I thought that
Mhm.
was the perfect venue to make that possible.
That's amazing. That's awesome. You're doing a really good thing. And thank you for that. Thank
Thank you,
you.
thank you.
But yeah, well, thank you guys.
Oh,
Go and follow JT and go right there his screen name, and it will take you to Recasters. They have also posting amazing content. And doing interviews also with
yes.
cosplayers, which I feel sometimes they don't get that much love. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you for your time.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, thank you guys. And stay a little bit after this, JT.
All
Okay, well,
right.
see you guys.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.